Hi everyone, welcome back to Daughter Talk. Today I have a special guest, Jocelyn. Thanks for coming on the podcast.
Hi, thank you.
So today's episode is a little different. Jocelyn's not going to be sharing her testimony, but we're going to talk about something that's really personal. We used to be incredibly close friends, and then life happened. We went separate ways, and for a season we really weren't in each other's lives, but today, by the grace of God, we're friends again. And so today we're kind of just going into our friendship, what it used to be, what we've learned in our time apart, and things like that. So yeah, I don't know if you want to start, but I guess the first question was just for us to tell everyone like kind of what our friendship looked like in the beginning, how we met, things like that.
Yeah, so we kind of said we don't have like the best memories.
Yeah.
We don't remember everything, but I think it was like on Twitter, on Twitter, and we just like, I don't know what it was, but it was like something with Jesselyn, and we both just like bonded off of that, and then we had, maybe it was like history together, we had a class together, and yeah, it just kind of stemmed from that, and our bond grew from there.
Yeah. Did you say that it was freshman year? I don't know if you
No, I didn't, but yes, it was freshman year.
Okay, freshman year of high school, yeah. And I think, I mean, I know this is kind of what it was in the beginning, but I mean, all throughout high school, we were pretty close.
Yeah.
I think when it where we became like a little less close was when I think I went away for college. I feel like that was the main thing.
That was a lot harder, yeah, because I stayed here for college, so we only saw each other like when you came home for like the weekend, or like during the school breaks, or like summer and stuff like that.
Yeah. So sharing like favorite memories or what made our friendship special?
So I think it was like we bonded over like the silly like girl stuff in like high school, so like clothes and like boys and like all the silly stuff, and then I just remember like going to concerts with you a lot. We went to the one in the Woodlands a lot, the Pavilion. We went there quite a few times, and then just like the rodeo and doing all the concerts over there, and then sleepovers. We had that one vacation, went with your whole family and another friend. Yeah,
so we were very much involved, I feel like, in your family and my family. I mean,
because you came to a lot of my stuff too with my family.
So that was good. But like I said, I do think whenever I went away from college, that's when, I mean, I think we both like were making new friends, doing different things, working different jobs, and so that going away whenever you stayed here was definitely hard.
Yeah.
But favorite memories, I mean, I was telling you, like my I think not just you, like any memories from years ago, I really have a tough time remembering like specific things, but I do remember everyone always asking for your sisters, Jocelyn, Jesselyn, and everyone always kind of made fun, like our names were so similar too, and we were so close, but it was like we were always seen around each other. Or I know people would always ask me about you too, like y'all are friends, you're friends with Jocelyn, right? You know, things like that. But yeah, I mean, you were definitely my best friend at the time, and we made a lot of special memories in high school together.
And now we'll make more mature friendships and memories.
So I mean, you kind of talked about this, but what drew us to becoming friends? Well, we just bonded over YouTube crushes, and I think I messaged you, maybe.
I don't remember how it happened. I don't even remember how we knew each other on like Twitter. Like
I think back then you would put, I don't know, like what high school you went to, like
maybe in
the bio. Or maybe I knew you and I was like, oh,
maybe it was like a mutual friend. Yeah, something like that.
So what did we learn from each other, and why do you think friendships can become such an important part of our lives?
So looking back now, at teenage us, I learned how not to take like friendships for granted. I don't think my perspective on like friendships was what it is now. Like I didn't take them serious enough. And then it's not like every day that you can rekindle like friendships with someone. So I think that's like a really important thing now to like learn, like not to take for granted like the friendships that you have, especially like the ones that you've had from like years ago. I feel like it's not common now to like have friendships from like people that you grew up with like from years ago.
And I really haven't, I mean, now but there was a time like recently where I didn't really talk to anybody from high school anymore.
Yeah.
And then you see people that do, and you know, you're kind of like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So it's nice to, but I think also like longing for the friendship, like similar to what we have. I feel like I've always kind of wanted that, and I feel like you've had that like for me in college, but then obviously I'm not even friends with a lot of those people anymore. Some of them, yes, but I think, like you said, not taking it for granted or like really wanting that relationship. Like I wish we both put more into it.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I'm speaking for myself too. Like I wish I didn't get distracted by like other things and really held on to that because it really was special. And now, you know, in adulthood, trying to look for things like a friendship like that is really hard. So
yeah, and I feel like, I mean, you can have like with your Bible study, like you'll have friends that like you meet, but like no one knows you more than like your childhood friend, because like they've seen you grow and like they were there for like the bad times, and like they've seen you grow and like be who you are today. So I feel like those are just like the friends that you have to keep the closest to you, because they're like your like ride or die friends that like will be with you like in the mountaintops and like in the valleys.
Yeah. And then the other part, which we can talk about or not, was why do you think friendships can become such an important part of our lives? Well, we kind of talked about that, but if you want to go into depth.
I think so, like in Genesis, when God was creating humanity, like he said it's not good for like men to be alone. So I don't think we were not made to be alone. Jesus never walked on this earth alone. He always had his disciples. He always had people. He always like longed for friendship, and like he's one of like the most dearest friends, and he's like the best example that we have. So I don't think we were designed to be alone. So but they go like way more beyond community. Like they help us grow, and they provide like the comfort and the support, and more importantly, like it reflects God's love.
Yeah. And I think just having people to like go to for advice, or when you're having a hard time, like yes, you should be talking to God, but I think there's also something special about friendships to also have that. Or especially now, I think, and you were from what I remember, like always in touch with your faith. I think maybe.
Yeah.
At least I remember.
Not what it is now.
Yeah. And I mean, I think now, so seeing that like godly friendships are really important, because then you are not just talking about giving advice, but like relating that back to things that they've read in the Bible, or what they've learned from church, or just like lessons that they learned for God. And I think there's like more depth to that too.
And I think God puts like specific words in like people, so like you might be praying for something and like you might be looking for a sign, and like I can just like randomly say it, or like vice versa, like you can say something that like I've been like longing or like praying about. So I think like you need those people, and you need that community, because it's, again, like God speaks to you, and like even when you're praying, like, you know, it says like where two or more are gathered, like there too God is. So I feel like you don't need to be alone, whether it's like a friendship or like an intimate one.
Yeah. And I've definitely heard that too. I mean, specifically from somebody where they said, you know, they felt like God was speaking to them through somebody else. So kind of what you're saying, you know. But yeah. And then this is talking about, this is kind of deep, but like when God calls you to surrender. So I mean, there was a point where we weren't as close anymore, and we honestly just stopped talking. We have talked about it a little bit, but we really don't really even know why. So if you want to talk about that, or the question was like, was it hard to let go?
Yeah, I feel like, so I don't know like ultimately like why we kind of, I feel like it just like,
and I think we both have like our ideas of maybe why it didn't happen, but like
we never really communicated it either. Like we never like reached out and was like, hey, like what happened? We kind of just like let it, like we never communicated that, which was I think was like a really big like problem for both of us. Like, we never like expressed what happened or like why we were hurt. But yeah, I just think it was really hard, because I was like, that was a very long friendship. Like we were friends for a very long time, and like I obviously didn't want it to end, but like things just happened the way that they did, and it took me a really long time to like learn to like surrender that. And I didn't surrender it knowing that like we would be friends again one day. But I think because I surrendered it, like God just kind of like helped me like shape myself, and like you individually too. Like we both grew, and like I think we needed the time apart to like be where we're at now, and like just look at like have a different perspective on like friendships and on life and just our faith.
And then I mean, kind of this, I guess, similar, but like like you said, I think whenever I invited you to the birthday, you know, that was the last time we saw each other until now, but we really didn't talk that much. And so I think in that, relating that to like it was time to let go. It had been time to let go, I think, of each other. I mean, even the fact that like we really didn't even talk, you know, but I just reached out to invite you. But I think we had already let go actually before that. But I think it's like
that
really,
was like
really letting go.
That was like not the straw, but like that was our like, okay, like this is, and it's like a breakup. Like you go back for like closure, but like I feel like that was the closure that we needed to be like, okay, like maybe this is just like how life happens, and this is just where it is.
We're just not like, we just weren't really close.
Our seasons were different. Yeah, we were in different seasons of life too. Which I don't think, like, looking back now, I don't think like because one person changes doesn't mean that like you guys have to stop being friends, because like it's not like a transaction. Like it's not just there to like please you. Like, okay, like this person has served me in this way of life or in this season of life, so like I'm done with that person. Because like, again, like we're good. There's gonna be seasons in our life where like we're gonna be going through different things. Like you're gonna be married, you're gonna have kids one day, and so I feel like you're gonna be in a different season of life that I'm at. So I feel like that doesn't mean that we stop being friends. If anything, like we have to be closer then, because you're not like, you find your strong friendships when you're like in the valleys, not when you're in the mountaintops. Because like you can't judge a relationship when you're going through like very happy seasons. You have to like, when you guys are like going through something really hard, that's when you like truly see that your friendship is like strong. Yeah.
And I think on that too, I mean, I feel like maybe I've done this multiple times, but like my birthday, like I wanted so many people there, and it didn't matter like if I was really close to them or not. I'm
the same way.
I don't know if I wanted it to like make it seem like, or I mean, I did like love everybody who was there in different reasons, but I wasn't close to everybody. And I think that also is something too, like those are very special moments, and not everyone needs to be involved. And I'm learning that now, like, you know, for my birthday coming up, I don't plan on inviting like everybody and their mama. I just like, you know, very intentional. If I do something, which I'm not sure, but I think,
I mean, it's 30.
But yeah, I think also thinking that too, like, but I think there was a reason you came, you know, and whether it was us see that we have
I don't
grown
think we
apart.
would have rekindled, like, had it not ended that way, because I feel like we would have just been like, okay, well, that's just it, and that's just like what it is. But yeah, I think for me, I mean, we both have a part in it, but obviously God too. But like me, that was, everything happens for a reason. So there was a reason why I like invited you. There's a reason why you came, and then like you said, I think if you didn't come or I'd never reached out, we probably would never have talked. So I definitely think that too. And I think like what you were saying with like I think a lot of it was like people pleasing. Like that was like going on like friendship and like talking about that. I think like growing up in like high school, like it was cool to have like a million friends. Like that was like the thing, and like I feel like that's what I like longed for. And I'm like, why don't I have 50 million friends like everyone else? But like, and again, like it's like how people like see you from the outside is like how you perspective show, like that's where your identity is. Like, okay, like people know me as like the one that has a million friends and like I'm the cool person, but like honestly, like are those really your friends at the end of the day? So I think that was like kind of where I stemmed to, where I was like, are we just friends to like for you to please me? Or like it wasn't intentional. I think that was my problem too.
And then I don't know if you talked about this, but or you can talk about two different questions, but what did God teach you during that season, and did you struggle with asking why?
I definitely think I did. I think that's kind of like, again, with the people pleasing. I didn't understand like why things happened the way that they did. Like, why weren't we friends for so long? Like, I mean, why did our friendship stop after like being friends for so long? And then I always caught like little glimpses of you. Like I always like knew you were like up to, because like I still like followed you on social media, or I still like saw you on social media. So I think a lot of it, like, it was hard for me to understand the why, but like I don't think I fully surrendered it ever until like, I don't know, maybe like last year, because I would always talk to Austin about it and be like, hey, like, you know, like he always knew like I struggled with like understanding like why, and like I was very like upset like when things ended, because I was like, I honestly don't know what happened, and like we never got like closure. So I definitely struggled with that, but then I think like it really deepened my relationship with God, because it taught me that like I'm more than just like that. Like I don't know, like again, I don't know, we never talked about what happened, so like I don't know what you were thinking on the other side, but it just like helped me understand like, okay, if I don't have anyone, if I don't have anything, like, is God enough? Like, that's truly like, it shaped me in the sense that like, I'll be okay if God is my like only friend, like he's anything I have in this, like if I have nothing else but I have God, then I have more than enough. But I think it like that relationship needed to like break for me to understand that.
Yeah. And I think for me, yes, maybe the same, but it took me longer probably. I think, I mean, I've gone through a lot, my faith has grown, but it was a really like kind of gradual, slow process. But I think now, so like digging into Bible studies, reading like how you're supposed to forgive people, like specifically, it's funny, I think whenever you reached out, we were reading a book about like community and friendship, and it was literally about like forgiving people. And I don't know, I think I did have like something against you for no reason, and I don't know, like I did blame you. But I feel like everybody's gonna blame the other person. Like, you're not gonna really think until later, whenever you're thinking like, actually, like maybe I was a problem too. But it was nice to like that you did text me, because then it was during the Bible study, and I'm like, hey, like I need to tell y'all something. Like we were just talking about this, and a friend that like from, you know, we were friends for a really long time. We haven't talked, but like we just texted, and we were probably gonna like go out, I don't know. And I was just telling everybody, like my family and my boyfriend and brothers and everything, especially now that like we're actually talking, like we text like almost every day. So it's really nice. I think that's, God just taught me, I think, more so like forgiving and forgetting, and that life's too short, I think. But it's a bunch of different lessons that I've learned, not just like one specific lesson. Did you struggle with asking why? Yes, but like I said, I think I just put the blame on you for a while, and then like my grandma would see that like you got married or that you had your baby, and like would tell me, and I did care, but I think I didn't want to like care. Which is why like I think I deleted you off everything. But I'm just like that, like which I'm trying not to be like that anymore. But before, if like I just didn't, it hurt me to like see stuff like that, like whether it's you or someone that I'm not friends with anymore, like a past relationship, like I just don't, it's, if I don't see it, I don't think about it. But it's whenever you see it, I think I needed to see stuff like that, you know, to like remember like, oh yeah, like I actually do care, obviously, you know. And then how did your relationship with Jesus grow while your friendship changed? Which is kind of the same. But.
Well, I think what kind of like, I realized that like, I think of like Jesus, like, you know, when he had his disciples and like when they would like go through like very like difficult things, like if you only, I think of it like the same way like a relationship, like if your significant other only has like 10% to give that day because like they had a very terrible rough day, like you have to be that 90%. And I think that's what like I learned that through that, because I was like, man, like when you were going through like your season where it was very difficult, like I wasn't that, and I think you needed me to be that. I think you needed me to be like the 90% when you literally had only 10% to give, and like I just didn't understand that, and I couldn't give you that. So I wasn't the friend that I needed to be back then. And I think it's the same way now. Like we have to be like, whether it's like, again, like if it's your like your significant other or it's like a true friend, like you have to give like that 90%, because they're not always going to be able to give you like 100%, because like we all go through seasons and we go through difficult times. So I learned that now, and I understand now that like you're not always going to be able to give me, and like we can't put that pressure on friends either. We can't be like, I need you to be this and that, because like we were talking about that earlier, like your friends are not called to be like everything for you. Like that's where Jesus comes in. And I think that like that helped me like understand friendship. Like I can't put that pressure on a person, because like even your significant other, like you can't put that pressure on them, because they're not called to be your everything. Like they can't be, when you're like down or whatever you're going through, like they can't be that for you. So I think learning that, and then just like realizing that like someone's not always gonna, and I'm the same way, like I can't always give you like 50%. I think communicating that too is like very important, because like you might be going through something someday, and like you might only be able to give something like very little, and like I have to know that so that I can be able to like give you that other like 60% or whatever it is.
Well, especially now in like your season 2, you know, you're a mom, you're a wife, and I mean I have a dog, but I have different responsibilities. But I think also on the other end of it, like even though that life gets busy, is still trying to be there for the other person, giving what you can. But in that Bible study too, I mean, it really did teach me a lot, and there was a reason, I think, like that we even like went through that Bible study before. before like we've rekindled, because it was even talking, I mean, and I do that with relationships too, like you expect like 50-50, but like you're not supposed to do that. Jesus doesn't do that. He gives you all of him, and he doesn't expect you to give all of it back. He just like what you can. But yeah, so.
Well, even when you're like I said, like you're gonna go through seasons where you're gonna be a mom one day, and like you're gonna be a wife, and you're gonna go through things. So like I have to understand that, and like when you're going through those seasons, like I can't expect you to like be everything for me, because you're gonna go through pregnancy, you're gonna go through planning a wedding and doing all the things, and you're gonna go through a season that's gonna be hard, because like it's never gonna be easy. Like I feel like my like loneliest season was like when I was pregnant, because it was a hard time, because like just like realizing like seeing your body change, and like seeing like who's really there for you, and like it's just like it's a hard time. So like when you're gonna be going through that, like like, and I think it can be hard to like compare. You're like, man, like this person like has everything, and like they're thriving and all these things, but like ultimately like that's where I was going through my eating disorder. So like I was not thriving. Like I had a marriage, and like things were great for us, and like we had the daughter, and like she's healthy and she's great, but like I was still struggling, like going through an eating disorder, and that was like the loneliest season of my life, because like I had no, like not even Austin knew about it, like no one knew about it. So it's like I don't want to, like, if someone's like going through those seasons, we're like, man, like I'm really missing out on their life, or like I'm really missing out on like what they're going through. Like we really don't know what they're going through at the end of the day, like what they're doing behind closed doors. So like I learned that like when you're gonna go through those seasons, like to be your 100%, not that I have to like have that pressure on myself, but like just like you said, like Jesus was our 100%. Like he was there with his disciples, he was loyal, he was a great friend, he's a great example of like what true friendship looks like, and like how you have to be, and like we have to reflect that well. So, and again, I didn't have those perspectives when we were friends back then. So yeah.
And I think, I mean, this may be like off topic too, but I think we were together like all the time, like every day, talking every day, and I don't really know if that's super healthy, just like it isn't.
We had no boundaries.
No. And I think that that's also what we need to learn too, like that it's okay to like have some separation or time apart, or time where you don't talk, but like and those are the friendships that I've had like long, is whenever we don't really talk all the time, and I think that's just part of maturing too, but like when you do, like it's like you never stop talking. Exactly. So I think we also I needed to learn that too. It's like what a healthy friendship looks like, you know. And I think I've heard of that's whenever things happen most, is at least that's what I've heard like from other people, is like when they're like best friends with somebody, like because you're with each other all the time, or talking every day, you know, or you're so close that like, I mean specifically an example, but somebody else, like, you know, they didn't know certain part of their best friend's life, and I think that, I don't know, you just get hurt like little things like that. So I think just like learning healthy boundaries too.
I agree.
We've kind of talked about this, but the next two questions are ways God stretched you individually, and then lessons you couldn't have learned if you stayed in the same season.
So I kind of talked about this like in our Bible study, but so because of that like friendship, not like ultimately like because of you, but like because like friendships were like kind of just like shattering, or like I was kind of like separating myself from certain people, there was something that I longed for that I didn't know I needed until like I'm like now realizing it, and like now that like we rekindled our friendship, I like learned that okay, that's where the eating disorder came from, because I honestly did not know where it stemmed from, because I didn't struggle with that in high school, I didn't struggle with anything, but I think a lot of it had to do with like comparison and like friendships, and like not feeling like I was enough, or like I wasn't worthy of like friends, or like I wasn't worthy of like being like a best friend for someone. So like I think it all stemmed from that. So the eating disorder, like again, that was like the hardest season of my life. Like it was just like terrible, and that's like a story for another day. But I think from that, it just like once I realized that like there was more to me than just that. Like it wasn't until like I started like seeing who God was, and like okay, like I'm not my eating disorder, I'm not like a bad friend, I'm not these things. It wasn't until that I was like, okay, God, like obviously like you're teaching me something in this season.
I think for me, ways God stretched me individually, or lessons I couldn't have learned if I stayed in the same season. I mean, I think I did need that time apart. Like I said, we were together all the time, so I think like maybe if I would have like stayed home, like, you know, maybe it would have been different. But I think everything that I experienced, like leaving and in college and relationships, like really taught me and have like formed me into who I am today. So I think there was a lot of lessons, even just like spiritually too. And it's hard to like think of like specific things, I guess, if you think of it, but I think just a lot of lessons that if I stayed in the same season, I wouldn't have learned. Like I needed to go away. I needed to make other friends to know like what true friendship really looks like too. And what it doesn't look like.
And I think I was very bad about like, I would always like point the finger, like why me? Like why did this happen to me? Or like, why am I not friends with her anymore? And it was always like a pity me mindset that I had. And I think that's where I got stretched too, because like now I look back and I'm like, well, thank you God that I went through the eating disorder, because like if it wasn't for the eating disorder, I wouldn't have like learned my value, or like if it wasn't for us not being friends, I wouldn't have learned what friendship means. So like I don't think anything that we go through in life is like everything has a reason and everything has a purpose, and like God turns it out for the good. So like everything that we went through in like our friendship and like outside of that, like just in life in general, I feel like it all taught us something. So like it stretched me in the way that like, yeah, that was a very hard season and it was lonely, but like where I am now and like how God taught me like friendships and like more about myself and my identity, like I wouldn't have experienced none of those if it wasn't for like the season that I went through.
Yeah. And I think even like what you were saying, like, oh, I don't have a best friend, like that's honestly what I've been thinking about like probably the last like year. Like I have like a lot of acquaintances, but I didn't have like, well, I feel like I've had different best friends at different seasons, like for like beginning of college or like after college a little bit, but I think it's also, I mean, hopefully, but like I think we came when we need like each other most, like right now. And I think we just needed to like grow.
I mean like truly, like I think you were like my soul sister. Like you were like, again, like everyone always be like, oh, like are you guys sisters, like those things. And like I think like, you know, again, like you have to go through certain things to like be like shaped and like rocked. And like I think you have to like, we have to go through life. And like I don't think if we ever have went through that, like we not that we wouldn't have been friends, but like we needed to go through like a very hard season individually and like as a friend to like go to like be where we're at today. So like, and same way, like not that I didn't have best friends, like I have friends obviously, and like they're my good friends, but like that genuine like one person that's like your ride or die, that's like will be there through like everything, like that's what I longed for more. And that's what you were for me then. And so like losing that, it's like a breakup. Like you're like, man, like I would love to tell this person that I'm going through this, or like that this is happening for me, and like you want them to be there for you for like everything, and like not having you there for that, like with like being pregnant and like the wedding and like all that stuff, like I wanted you like there for all those things. And like that was very, very hard for me to understand like why you weren't there for all that. And like it was, again, it was super hard to like experience that and like not have you there for all those things. But like I also had to understand like what you went through was tough, and so like I had to give you grace for that, obviously, and just like learn to accept that. And again, that's like when I fully surrendered it. Like looking back now, I'm like, okay, God, like it was intentional. Like what you did was like you were shaping us and you were building us. And again, like we wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for that.
I was gonna say something else, but I don't know that I can remember it. But I can't remember exactly. Maybe I'll remember. Identity being found in Christ instead of friendships, which we've kind of already talked about that. And then if God hadn't allowed that season apart, where do you think you'd be spiritually today? We've kind of talked about that too, but
again, I don't think I would have been like where I'm at now, and I wouldn't understand like what a friendship means. So like I was, you know, I've always read the Bible, but like I didn't like understand, like, because you know people are like, you won't ever truly know like how good God is, or like you won't ever like understand like why am I like worthy of his love. But like I've been reading like John recently, because I was like, okay, I need to understand more of his character. Like I know he's good and like all the things people say, but like it wasn't until like I started like rereading it that I'm like, dang, like he had people like walk all over him, like he had like betrayal, he had like people like just like the worst things that could possibly happen. Like he walked through all of those things, and like now that like we walked through those hard seasons too, like we had like friendships like being broken, we had all kinds of things happening. Like it wasn't because those things happen, like he truly understands, and like he knows what we're going through, and like when you cry, he cries, and like so it's like that one like thing. But like I don't think I would have ever like experienced that if like again if it wasn't for us and like truly understanding who Jesus is and like what kind of friend he is, and like now I understand like how I can reflect that well.
Yeah, I remember what I was gonna say now. It was mainly about me being a little petty. But it wasn't because of you, it was because of other like friendships where, because that was never with you, like that was the only time we've ever like been apart. But I've been in other friendships where like we are friends and then we're not, and then we are because I reach out, and then something else happens and we're not. And so like I think with you I was scared of that happening. So that was, like I said, me being petty, like I'm not gonna reach out to her because it's just gonna be the same as like other people, you know, where like, or if she isn't reaching out to me, well, it's because she doesn't want to be friends with me. But it wasn't because of you, it was because of other people that I've experienced that with. And so,
and I feel like it was also a touchy season, not like I didn't want to like reach out and like tell, and like I obviously like had your family like on Facebook, and like so like your dad would like see like things in my life, and like when things happen, I'm sure like you were aware of them, but like I was always in the background. Like I knew when you were in your relationship, like I knew all these things because again I had your family, and like I would kind of like see these things, but like I never wanted to like, it was like walking on eggshells because like you were going through like such a tough season. I didn't want to be like, oh, like I'm having such a great time and like my life is so great, and like I didn't want to like put all those things in your face when you were like going through a really hard season. So again, I think we needed to go through that because like we were in different stages in life, and like I wouldn't have, like I didn't want to like be thriving and like you going through this and like me like kind of like throwing it in your face. So I think we needed that time apart to like heal individually in that.
No, and I mean on that note, I feel like if you would have reached out earlier, that I probably would have felt that way for sure. So I think it's just like the perfect timing, because otherwise I probably would have felt like it was ingenuine, or that you weren't like putting my feelings, or just like jealous of you, honestly, probably too. So even though I try to admit that like I wasn't, or I mean I'm happy for her, but like I think like deep down I really was.
And I again that's jealous. I think that's with like anyone, because like, and I'm saying this again, but like I look at people now, or like even if we're like talking about like someone's career, I'm like, dang, like they have they have everything going for them. Like they have the house, they have the husband, they have the kids, they have like everything like you wished you had. But then I'm like, ultimately, like what's their relationship with Jesus? Like what are they struggling with? Because everyone's going through something. So like I said, like I was going through like what you would see on the outside as like the best time. Like I was thriving in all areas, but like that was like the time where I was like, literally, like if I did what I was doing one more time, I probably would have been in the hospital. Like it was a tough time. So like I try to like give people like, not to judge them and like, okay, like they have everything going for them, because like again, you don't know how someone's struggling like deep down, or like they might have a million friends, but like no one knows like their one true deepest like darkest thing. So I always try to like look at that like that, and like try not to like, because again, it's easy to like compare yourself to like people and like where you're at in life, and like how we're gonna be 30 soon, and like, man, like I didn't picture my life being where it is now. So it's like, it's very hard to like fall in that trap. But again, like just like trusting God's timing, and okay, like he has everything planned out for you. Like he knows, I don't know the Bible verse like top of my head, but like he knows like the number, that, and like he knows like the number of hairs on your head. Like if he gives the birds, we talked about this at Bible study this week, like if he knows like if he feeds the birds every day, like if the flowers are thriving, if they're planting, like how much more does he love you? So I try to think of it like that. Like I can't compare myself to anyone else's life, or I can't like be pity or jealous for someone else, because again, like that's not what God has for me. Like his timing is perfect, and he's gonna make everything, like you're gonna look back in 10 years and gonna be like, wow, like thank God I went through all these things, or thank God like he shaped me and like to where I'm at now. So again, like I think of it like I try not to be jealous of people like that too.
And I think like also I felt like I mean also all looking from the outside, like I was like, oh, like I don't have any of the stuff that like she does, like didn't think like we would be able to be like friends, because like I was going through like a different season, you know, where like even like mentally or physically or just like spiritually too, like I was like I don't know, I just always thought like, not that you were better than me, but like
I always thought the opposite. I was like, no, she's literally the perfect person, like I wish I was her. So,
and I think that shows too, like what you feel, they probably feel the same way, you know?
I feel like it's always in our head, like we're putting more pressure on ourselves, and like we put like people on these pedestals, but like they're probably not thinking that. Like, I thought, like, you thought, like, I was the worst person in the world, and I'm like, you were probably thinking the same thing that I was thinking of you.
I thought I, like, wasn't worthy enough to, like, be your friend.
No,
or,
I
like,
was
that you wouldn't want to
opposite.
be, like, friends with me or whatever.
No, yeah, I was thinking that about you. I'm like, man, like, she's too cool for me. Like, she's, like, she has everything put together, and, like, I have nothing, so, like, yeah, we always put this pressure on ourselves, so, like, we make it seem like it's more than it actually is, and, like, it's never that deep.
Yeah,
so.
And I think that this just shows, like, communication.
Yeah,
it probably could have been better if we had just, like, a sit down, cry, like, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
I guess that's I mean, the next section is, like, God restores differently. So, like, what feels different now? How have boundaries changed? And how can we put Jesus at the center of our friendship today? I mean, I guess one thing that I could say is, well, the first time we've even, like, met in person, which I'll be honest, I was, like, putting off, like, meeting because I was nervous. Or just wasn't really sure, like, how I felt about it.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, the first time we saw each other in, like, years was whenever you came to Bible study. So I think, like, we already are putting, like, Jesus at the center of our friendship. Yeah.
And I feel like it was like a breath of fresh air, because, like, you don't know that you, like, needed that until, like, you're, like, with you. Like, our first time talking, obviously we haven't seen each other in a few years, so it was, like, not that it was awkward, because I feel like it wasn't awkward, but it was, like, there's so much unsaid things, and I think we're kind of, like, spilling it now. It's like we're talking about the things that we haven't talked about. But, like, I would even, like, go home and tell Austin, like, he would ask me, like, how I was. I was like, you don't realize you needed it until, like, you need it. So, like, yeah, I was uncomfortable, but, like, God causes to be uncomfortable, so I think we needed it. But yeah, like you said, I think we're in, like, a healthier, like, mentality. Like, we understand things differently now, and, like, when you're going through your season of life, that's going to be, like, amazing and, like, thriving. Like, I get to be there for that, and that's, like, the most exciting thing, because I get to, like, experience life that, like, I feel like I was missing out on so much. So, like, now knowing that, like, I get to, like, be there for you for all these exciting things that you're going to go through in life, like, it's just, like, it's exciting. So yeah.
But you too, I mean, like, what did I say, like, because in the Woodlands Bible study, like, there's a lot of, you know, moms, and they were talking about, like, what their next season, like, for me, obviously, like, hopefully it's, like, getting married, having kids.
Yeah.
And, like, I felt so bad, but I was like, what's your next season, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what is the next thing? Like, so I think, like, not just me, but, like, you're also gonna go through, like, happy things, maybe another kid, or like, finding a new hobby, like, just any little thing like that, I think is also, like, celebrating too, not to, like, just
and I
put
feel like
yourself down too.
That's pressure on, like, a mom too, because your identity doesn't stop, like, after you're a mom. Like, just because you're a mom doesn't mean your life stops. So, like, same thing for you. Like, once you're a mom, like, you don't have to stop your podcast. You don't have to stop all your hobbies that you love doing. Like, yeah, your plate is full, but, like, you don't stop just because you're a mom. So, like, I think that's what I think too. Like, yeah, you don't have a kid right now, but, like, I think, like, imagine if you had a kid right now, like, you would have stopped your podcast, you would have stopped, like, all these things, and, like, you would have, like, maybe regretted it down the line when your kid was older. So I think, like, you needed this so, like, you can have your foundation, and, like, you can have your people that you can rely on for, like, when you are on, like, maternity or, like, whatever happens. So I think, like, your timing is perfect, and, like, you're not, like, you're gonna have that season. So I think like, again, I think it's all aligning perfectly. Yeah.
But I think you too, like, I don't know what that means for you, but I'm excited to, like, be there too. What feels different now, or how have boundaries changed? Do you think it feels different? Yeah,
like I said, I think, like, our faith has grown a lot, and, like, we have a deeper relationship with God, and, like, we're still, like, learning obviously so much. And he's still gonna, like, teach us so much. So I think, but, like, we have God as our foundation now, so I think that's what feels different. Like, back then we didn't have that. Our mentality was just different, and we were just, like, again, like, people pleasing, and, like, we weren't doing life the right way. So I think that's what feels different, and we're just, like, much more mature now.
I feel like back then we both wanted to, like, fit in so bad.
Yes. And I feel like I think about that with, like, high school and, like, the reunion. I'm like, thank God I didn't go, because I would have just been, like, again, I'm like, you have them on, like, and you have them on social media, but you're like, they have all these things, and, like, but yeah, like you said, I think it's, like, I don't think we have that now. Like, we're not, like, if I only have one true friend, great, amazing, love that. Like, I don't need 50 of them. So I think, like, we're not at that stage where we're people pleasing anymore. We're like much more intentional and genuine. So, and that's what we need. Boundaries. We kind of talked about that. I don't think we had boundaries back then. Now I think we have that boundary where we're like, we understand friendship and like we're learning who Jesus is, so like we're gonna be able to like reflect that well. And like I talked about earlier, like no friend is gonna, I can't expect you to like carry my burdens and like carry my trauma and carry my hurt. So I think like having those boundaries of like what a friend is and like what you can carry and like what you can be for me, and then again, like when you go through a season, like I'm gonna understand, I'm gonna know how to like be there for you and be that for you. So I think we have like that boundary now.
I will say, I think I was telling my brother maybe that like we were talking, and I do apologize to anybody but like sometimes I don't text back, but I think that that's healthy too, because like if not, I told Josh, I was like, if I texted her back every single time, which I used to do, we'd be talking literally like all day every day probably. And I think like it's good for both of us. Like I don't want you to ever feel like you have to like, you know, with your busy life, and like it's okay if we, but I mean, we're still talking, and I think that's great. But,
and I feel like it's just like we can catch up in person. So like, and like, I mean, this Bible study is gonna end on Wednesday, so like, but we'll still like find time to like see each other. So I think like, you don't have to text someone 24/7 to like keep them up. Like obviously, like if like big things happen or like something important in your day happens, or like when you need someone to pray for you, or like you need to talk to someone, like obviously like we're there for that, but like we're also not far apart, so like we can like literally like drive to each other and like hang out. And I feel like it's just more genuine when we're in person, because texting is hard. Like I honestly, even like being a mom now, like it takes me like business days to reply to someone. Like I see your message, but like I just, and you have a lot on your plate, like with everything that you're doing, so like I don't expect you to like have your phone in your hand and respond to me every single second.
Okay,
so.
good. And I think that's like a healthy boundary to have with people
sure.
too. But the last thing is encouragement. I guess I can maybe read this, what we wrote down like after, but are there any like words of encouragement for, I mean, I can speak to this too, for like anybody maybe that like is grieving a friendship, or they're like waiting like me, like, because I knew I wasn't going to be the one to reach out, like waiting for you to. So I don't know if you have any like words of encouragement or any advice for anybody like maybe going through the same thing.
I think just like prayer, because that's what like, that's literally like what led me, and like what like I think it was like the Holy Spirit that put it on me, because I don't think I've ever, like out of pride I wouldn't have ever reached out, but like because I've been praying and like longing for it for so long, like not just like because I've been like, I literally, my prayer was like, God, if like this person doesn't serve its like if this is not like a genuine friend, or if it's not someone that you need in my life, like you can like take them out of my life. And like, but then like when you do pray that and like they do leave, you're like, wow, like there's literally no one left and stuff like that. So I think like be intentional with your prayer, and like if you're longing for like a friendship, like God is gonna fulfill the desires of your heart, and like he knows what you want and he knows what you need. So like don't be afraid to like ask him, and like if it's like you're hurt or you're like upset or like whatever you're feeling, like come to him about it. And then like if he puts it on your Holy Spirit to like even like to pray for someone, or like to reach out to someone, and like if they don't respond to you, like that's okay. They just like, at least they know that you were on their heart. But I feel like be intentional with your prayer, and like don't be scared to like be vulnerable with God, and like tell him your deepest, darkest desires and secrets.
No, and on that too, I mean, I told you like I've experienced that with other people. So like one girl specifically, I reached out like kind of doing what you did, and she did respond, but it was like respectfully like, no, I don't want to be friends. And that was really hard too. And I think like that really shifted like why I didn't want to reach out to you, because I was scared of that.
We're scared of rejection.
But I think that
human.
Even just like you reaching out or me reaching out, like just do it, because you don't want to like live without like with any regrets too.
Because you're like scared, like God forbid something ever happened to one of us, but like I would literally be traumatized if something ever happened. So it's like reach out and like be that friend, because like I try to think of it like Jesus, like he was always genuine and he was always loyal friends. Like he always reached out and like he did everything that he possibly could. So like even like when you stray away from God, like he's always there with open arms. So like we should be like that too. Like like it sounds like, I'm not gonna do that, I'm not gonna be that friend, like that's all like pick me and like that kind of mentality. But I think like no, like that's what Jesus was, so like we need to be the same way.
And on that note too, I mean, if somebody is like in a similar situation, also for them to know that like they might not rekindle that friendship, and that's okay. Like they really weren't meant to be in your life. If like let's say you do reach out and they say like, no, I don't want to be friends with you, or they just don't reply, or there's a reason, hopefully you can rekindle, but to also know that like if not, like you said, God will fulfill that relationship in something else, with somebody else.
Yeah, like it's you. I mean, rejection's gonna happen either way. It's part of life. Like whether it's a job or a friendship or a relationship, whatever. Like it's gonna happen. So also like if you do reach out, like be mindful that like it can be like again like a rejection, and if that does happen, then you know that chapter's closed and that God, like you said, God will fulfill that desire somewhere else.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. The closing scripture that we had is Proverbs 3:5-6. It says, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him and he will make your path straight." So I think like what you were saying, just really trust in the Lord, pray to him. Definitely what I'm learning and still needing to practice more. Yeah. But whenever it's really eye-opening whenever like your prayers, like for example like us, like do get answered, then you have like more faith. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But that is pretty much it. Normally I pray to close out, but I literally would probably start falling. So are you okay with praying?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, thank you, Lord, for this time. Thank you for this podcast, Lord, and for allowing us to just speak and to be true, Lord, to you, and just allowing us to rekindle. Lord, I pray that you'll be with anyone that's having a friendship that's difficult, Lord, or they're going through a season in their life where they feel lonely. I pray, God, that you would be that friend for them and you would be the one, Lord, that's right there with them, God. And I pray that you would rekindle anything that's broken, whether it's a friendship or relationship, Lord, and that you would just continue to show everyone your goodness and your grace and your mercy and just what a good God you are, Lord. And I just pray for Jesselyn individually, Lord. I pray that you'll be with her, that you'll continue to show her who you are, Lord, and that you would open up the right doors for her, Lord, in every season of her life, her career, her relationship, Lord, and any desire that she has, Lord. Pray, God, that you would just bless this podcast, that you would allow it to bloom, and that people would hear you, and that she would reach out to different women, Lord, and that she would be a vessel for your kingdom. And in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.